Back in 2014, Meghan Trainor released a song called All About That Bass. And it was at the time considered an anthem for the burgeoning movement of body positivity. She was overweight at the time, and it's so funny when you look back on the music video and see what was considered comically fat in 2014 compared to current day. But now we're in the age of Ozempic, and everyone is rapidly getting skinny, Meghan Trainor included.
It is
she
true.
Has openly talked about being on Ozempic.
It is true when you think about how rigid Hollywood beauty standards were at one point. Like, I remember watching, I've mentioned several times that I watched the show Endgame, not the Marvel movie. There's an actress in that named Catherine Isabel. She's kind of a horror movie icon in Canada. And at that time, I thought she looked comically weird just because she kind of had a slightly, totally normal physical form, but a slightly bigger face than like your average Hollywood actress. And I remember in 2012 being like, she looks weird.
Now you just have Bella Ramsey starring in a TV show, and
you're just like, bring me back to 2012.
Right. Well, yeah, and in 2014, that was kind of where we had the beginning of the end for our beauty standards, as the body positivity movement was being pushed heavily.
Yep.
And it's now fallen out of favor, including with Meghan Trainor herself, who was an icon for body positivity, being an overweight pop star herself. She has dropped weight rapidly on Ozempic and is now the exact size 2 Barbie doll that she used to insult. And I think that, you know, even though this was considered body positivity at the time, she wrote lyrics that were openly, you know, criticizing skinny women. And it was not really a pro-fat song. It was just an anti-skinny song.
I
It was
respect
putting
that
down
more.
skinny women for being, you know, a bag of bones. And women, like, it had lyrics like, men want a woman with curves and they don't want you like skinny bitches. Like, that was the
that all jumped the
message
shark
of the
so
song.
fast. Though.
I respect the meanness of it, though, more than
it's more transparent than like everybody's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, you can just openly say that you hate skinny women for being skinny at the
I
time.
respect the honesty.
So it wasn't really body positive if you're taking that term at face value.
It was skinny negative.
Right. It was skinny negative. But now that Meghan Trainor herself is skinny, she is performing this song with changed lyrics.
Oh, that's the wrong move.
Yes, she has officially changed the lyrics in All About That Bass to fit her current physique. So it used to be...
There's a picture of what she looks like now, if people are wondering.
Yes, yeah. It used to be a lyric in the song saying, it's pretty clear I ain't no size 2. And in a recent performance of the song, she changed it to, yeah, it's pretty clear I got some new boobs. Which she did. She actually did get breast implants after her weight loss.
Okay.
To make up the difference, I suppose. Why do you say it's a mistake to change the lyrics, though, Phil?
Because it's very see-through. It's very transparent. That like she used to be catty about skinny girls. Now that she's catty, or now that she's skinny. I mean, yeah, it's just that.
Yeah.
She should go full villain and be mean to fat people now.
Well, it was revealed, after all, what everyone suspected is true. She was putting down skinny women out of jealousy. Yeah. And if you had an ounce of common sense, you knew that back in 2014. But now we have evidence.
Like, so
she wanted to be them, so she was putting them down.
Yeah, I think
just
that's
the truth.
It's true. Yeah, I just think that's very, very, that's just bad behavior. I don't approve of that at all.
It's all body positivity until you get your chubby little sausage fingers on some Ozempic, and then the whole story changes, right?
I love it. It's all body positivity until you get your chubby little sausage fingers on some Ozempic.
I mean, seriously, though. Lizzo is another example of that. But, yeah, she performed this new version of the song, and people are not taking it well. They're saying that she doesn't have a right to perform the song anymore because it doesn't represent her. She's not part of the marginalized group that she once represented anymore. And it's kind of a betrayal of what used to be her brand.
Yep.
And I kind of agree with those people, as cringe as that sounds. I agree because I think if she were being honest with herself and her audience in the first place, she would have never put out a song like that. That was like, I'm confident in who I am and how I look, and I'm never going to change, and I'm beautiful the way I am, and my curves are what make me unique. She never actually believed that.
Yeah.
You know, it was always something that felt out of reach for her, and she did want to be skinny after all. She even said herself, I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to sing this song anymore. And she said she doesn't represent that group anymore.
I just hated doo-wop pop.
I hate her songs in general.
With a
yeah,
passion.
She was never an artist that people listened to unless they were walking around to Marshall's and forced to listen to it while they like smell candles.
I mean, that's not true. People did listen to it. It obviously did very well. But the point is that for many of us, it was against our will.
Yeah, definitely. Like every Meghan Trainor song I've heard against
Wear
my will.
a fat suit on stage when she performs it. Thank you, Joe T in the chat. So if I remember correctly, as of a couple years ago, whenever Weird Al would perform his song Fat, he would wear the fat suit. And that defies cancel culture. I don't know if he still does it.
You know she would just get put through the ringer for that.
That would be
people
amazing.
would be even more angry if she did that.
When I sit around the house, I really sit around the house.
Another line in that same song is saying she's never going to be what she calls a silicone Barbie doll.
Apparently she is.
And she is, because she just did a sponsorship deal on her Instagram for silicone breast implants.
All right, here we go.
Everyone, it's Meghan Trainor, and I've got some big news to share. I got my boobs done. As you know, I'm in a super busy chapter of my life. I've been touring, working, and mommying really hard. So recently, I've decided to do something just for me. I got a breast lift and augmentation with Motiva implants. Finally! After having 2 kids, living a healthier lifestyle, and losing weight, I couldn't be happier with my decision. I'm so obsessed. I've always struggled with loving my boobs before I got them done because they were never even, were always saggy my whole life. These breast implants are the only ones in the world with smooth silk, a surface designed to minimize inflammation, so the tissue around the implant stays soft. Honestly, they look and feel amazing. It's not
They should have her husband doing the testimonial, not her.
not an easy decision to have surgery, but Motiva's unheard of device-related complications rate of less than 1% reassured me that I was making the right choice. Together with my board-certified plastic surgeon, we chose the Motiva Smooth Silk Ergonomics implants. I wanted to make sure I had a very natural look and feel, which is why the ergonomics implants made the most sense because they adapt to movement, making them feel more like natural breast tissues. I love my results so much. My breasts look fuller, yet completely natural, and they complement my body proportions beautifully. They are finally twin sisters and not distant cousins. If you are looking for implants that prioritize both aesthetics and...
Okay, it would be funnier if her husband's like, my life is really busy, so I got a dick enlargement. Like... because I'm busy. Look, I'm working, I'm acting, so I had my penis made bigger by a surgeon.
Well, first of all, it's crazy to record that ad in a top that doesn't show any cleavage.
Yeah, what was the point?
But secondly, it further demonstrates how much of a hypocrite she is, because she was trying to empower an audience of women not to turn to cosmetic procedures to boost their confidence. And then suddenly the story changes once it's a way that she can enrich herself and benefit herself.
So I hate all of that. The whole like, try to deter people from doing things that might help their self-esteem, help them feel better about the way they look. I am all for people doing things that make them feel better about themselves. I'm not against plastic surgery. I'm not against, like if you feel aesthetically you look different, you don't look the way that you want to, go right ahead. And people that put other people down for doing those kind of things, I'm just like, why? Like, they're not.
Have you
bothering
gotten
me.
plastic surgery?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering.
No.
Well, I think
my
that...
point is, though, it's,
But
it's,
I would definitely people go to the gym, and like I go to the gym because of vanity. Like the health things that come after that are come from the gym are nice and cool, but like the reason I go is because I don't want to get too fat.
I don't think that that's a comparable situation. When you go to the gym and you work out, you're improving on your own natural body capabilities. You're not artificially enhancing anything. You're not paying for a doctor to insert
So what if I got
some foreign object into you. Like,
what if I got hair plugs? That's my own hair.
Look, I'm not
transplants.
saying that I am against plastic surgery completely. Like, I wouldn't say that, but I do think it gets dangerous because people don't even attempt to resolve their self-esteem issue before turning to that as a solution. And then they end up, in some cases, a lot of cases, looking like a monster after taking it way too far because they have no concept of how they look or how they look to other people.
I feel like people that are critical of other people that get plastic surgery are only one step removed from men that are extremely critical of women for wearing makeup. Well, that's not the real her. Look at when you wake up next to her in the morning, she doesn't look like that, or blah blah blah. I think they're wrong. Like, I think if you feel better wearing makeup and stuff, that's perfectly fine. And I don't think that there's a problem with it at all. I like when my girlfriend does her eyes up. Like, I think she looks great when she puts on eye makeup. Some people don't like that. Some people like when people have more makeup than I would, but I think that that's kind of all the same vein. It's like you should, like, if people feel better wearing more makeup or less makeup, that's fine. If people go to a surgeon to get a little tuck or whatever, yes, you can overdo it, of course, and it can be done badly and it can make you look worse, but I don't feel like it's a problem. I think that whether you're going to the gym to exercise to stay in shape because you want to look a certain way, or putting on makeup, or getting your hair fixed, or like I've thought about getting my teeth fixed because I got some chips and stuff from getting hit in the face in the pit when I was a kid. But like, I don't think there's any problem with that stuff, and I don't get why people are so down on people that do that. If you're doing something that makes you feel better about yourself, I'm okay with it.
What do you think, Brett?
I don't care if she gets plastic surgery. I just think it's funny that she's like, I'm busy, so I got a boob job.
That's your take on plastic surgery?
I don't care if people get plastic surgery, especially in Hollywood, which is an aesthetic industry. It doesn't bother me if people get plastic surgery.
I think it. I'm not saying I am against plastic surgery. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I think that most of the time it's probably not the solution you should turn to. If you have an internal neurosis about how you look, you should probably address that at its source. Mm-hmm. But I also wouldn't say, like, for instance, when we talked about that woman who got a nose job and she ended up getting a divorce afterwards, she had a nose that, like, it was actually comically huge. Mm-hmm. Okay, would I actually sit here and say, like, oh, well, if I had a nose like that, I would just, like, accept it and be confident? No, I wouldn't. I would not accept it. Mm-hmm. I would probably do the same thing that she did.
Neuroses being what it is, though, like something that seems less severe to you and me when it's you looking at yourself, for some people may look like, to her boobs might have looked to her the way that woman's nose looked to us.
Okay, but that's
neuroses.
That's detached from reality.
I don't really care.
And I also am pointing out that, yes, she was promoting this idea that she was above that to her audience of women. Yeah. And saying that it's, empowering to accept yourself for who you are, when clearly that was never a fundamental value for her. Similarly, Lizzo, everyone is saying Lizzo's weight loss can be amounted to Ozempic and not what she claims, which is that she's working out and eating healthier.
I hope she is.
It's incredibly likely that Lizzo is on Ozempic. But furthermore, before Lizzo ever lost the weight, she started a shapewear brand called Yitty and claimed that it's empowering and it was designed to celebrate all bodies. The problem with that is that shapewear, the purpose of it as a product is to suck in your fat and hide it. So clearly this isn't really about celebrating our bodies. This is about hiding our bodies when they look fat and ugly, okay? I just think it's quite hypocritical on both of their parts to present themselves as these like advocates and activists for body positivity and self-acceptance when they're anything but.
There's a $20.
There's a 20 from Kyle Dixon who says that woman's nose sunk the USS Library. Look, if we're talking about the hypocrisy of it, 110% I agree with you. But plastic surgery on its face.
Or remember when we were talking about Megan Fox? Like, we were saying her face was obviously perfect before she got any work done. Then she took it way too far and ended up looking like an inhuman sex doll. It's not an improvement on what she had to begin with. And then she has talked about plastic surgery before in interviews, saying, highly recommend trying to figure out your own interior problems before you turn to plastic surgery as a solution because you're going to regret it. That's all I'm saying. I think that there needs to be more caution.
I think I agree with that. Like if you are doing it because you feel like you want to look a certain way, that's one thing. But if you've just got body dysmorphia and you're going to try hacking away at your body because of it, that's bad. Yeah.
And a plastic surgeon who has you in a consultation is never going to tell you, maybe you should give it more time and think about it. They're going to tell you, oh, you're right. Your nose is fucked up. And actually, here are 10 other things that we could probably fix at the same time. Here's your bill. Like,
a lot of times
their job is to actually compound on the neurosis that you brought to them in the first place.
Yeah, like I said, again, it's also a different case because the average everyday American can't afford plastic surgery anyways. And she works, I'm not talking about Lizzo now, I'm talking about, I guess both of them. They work in an aesthetics-based industry where it matters what they look like. It's something they talk about a lot of time with the women in WWE now, that they go in looking one way and they come out looking very, very different because of all the plastic surgery, because their job is to look good on camera. It's almost like 80% of their job. Sure, they have to be good at wrestling, but aesthetically, the men and the women have to look like gods and goddesses, and that ends up being more and more surgically provided for the women than the men. In the men, I'm sure a lot of it is whatever steroids they can get away with that pass the drug testing regime for all of them. So in aesthetics-based industries, it makes the most sense to me, but I guess I see your point more when it's sold to somebody who has to finance a surgery because they feel badly about themselves. But it is what it is.
I think it can take more than a financial toll. I think it can take a mental toll to suddenly see a different person in the mirror. And I think it gives people identity issues.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.